Greetings and welcome to this Breakwater Festival video. Yeah, we have kind of a special meeting today. We invited one of the first ticket holders of the Breakwater Festival, Matej. Hi, Matej. Good to have you here.
Oh,
How are you?
to be here. I'm good.
Very good. Very good. Yeah. And the Breakwater Festival, some of you might have heard it. It will take place in Germany in October. And what's the plan for today? First, I want to give some general information about the festival. And then, Matej and I, we will do a kind of a randos conversation around the festival, and we can just have a short introduction and then talk a bit about the festival. And you can talk about your hopes for the festival, Matej, and I can give some information, maybe also answer your questions about the festival. Yeah, and that's basically the plan. And yeah, that's so I start with the general information. Breakwater Festival in Germany, in Mannheim, which is in South Germany, and it will be from the 27th to the 29th of October this year. And speakers will be Paul van der Klee and Andrea with the Banks, so two well-known names in this little corner of the internet. And then we also have two not so familiar names who are also our speakers. One is Dr. Thomas Steininger, and he's the editor of Evolve magazine, and it's a magazine that focuses on evolutionary spirituality, whatever that is. But the interesting thing is, like, Evolve magazine was the first German print magazine that interviewed people like John Vervaeke and also Jonathan Peugeot. And they also did a short article on Bridges of Meaning and on our local estuary, which we have here in Mannheim once a month. So that was very nice. And that's the way we connected with them. And yeah, so a very good fit for our event as well, Thomas Steininger. And then we have as fourth speaker, Aaron van Os, who is a young philosopher from the Netherlands. He's a PhD student and a teacher, I think, at the university at Utrecht. So yeah, in the Netherlands. And he also was on Paul's channel before, and I think he wants to talk about Nietzsche on our conference, and sounds very interesting. And then the theme of the conference is paths, places, and people. Navigating the journey of meaning is kind of the subtitle. Also the journey of meaning in this little corner of the internet, you could say. And it will basically be a weekend of talks, of conversations, of small group discussions, and there will of course also be estuary breakout sessions. And one new thing we want to try out is Thomas Steininger. He will lead a fishbowl session. That's a format for big groups, and he said that it can engage easily up to 100 people. So not just estuary small groups, but also bigger groups. And okay, we have another guest. I will just let Stephanie in. And then I will continue my intro talk. Yeah, so the fishbowl session, and we are very excited about that. And we on the festival we will also have shared meals. We will in the evening we will have campfires, and there will be some musical acts in the evening as well. And if that sounds good for you, if you feel at home in the corner, this festival is definitely for you. And I mean, we did an event last year as well, the Bridges of Meaning Festival here in Germany. That was just amazing, how people immediately connected there, how they found friends and fellowship and community. And if that sounds good to you, you should join us. You should check out the link below the video and get your ticket. There are only 100 available. So you should not wait too long. And the early bird phase is only until the end of August as well. And then prices will go up. Okay, and Stephanie, you come in at the perfect time. Hi, greetings.
Hi.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm okay. I fell over backwards today, yeah. So, and I injured my knee, but I'll be all right.
Okay, like if you need your time, it's perfectly fine if you check out, and we will also do this another time, so you could also join at another point, just as you like.
Yeah, no, if it was necessary, I would have cancelled. But yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's all sorted out. What's done needs to be done is done. So.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, so I just gave a short intro about the event and gave some general information. And the idea is now that that we basically do a kind of a small estuary round where we just have a small a short round of introductions, and then so the first round would be, who are you, where are you located, how did you find this place, this little corner of the internet, would be the first round. And then the second round would be like, why will you come to our festival? What are your hopes about it? And that's basically the idea. And I would say, yeah, Matej, why don't you want to start? So, who are you? Where are you from? How did you get here? And yeah, what's your story?
All right. Well, I'm Matej. I'm 23 and I'm from Romania. I studied in Netherlands for a while, computer science, and I'm doing the masters in AI and cognitive science. I was well. The way I found the story thing is, well, I got swept up with the Peterson phenomena, let's say, then really got into Vervaeke, Jonathan Pajot, really like their conversations. And yeah, I've been following them around, and yeah, Paul van der Clay just seemed like the natural thing to find out next. And yeah, I saw he's doing this story thing. I saw that he already did another, like in Germany, the other, um, yeah, festival last year. And yeah, it feels like the place I would feel at home. I would fit right in, given my interests.
Great, great. Sounds great. Thanks, Stephanie. What about you?
Well, what? Okay. Originally, it was a Peterson thing, but it was just an audio of something he was doing in London, and I thought, oh, who's this? You know, it was something about it, and so then I went to find out who it was. Got to YouTube, because I didn't really watch YouTube before, so I've been sucked in. So yeah, and it was the thing I watched was on the same day as the Kathy Newman thing, so I watched that, and then I kind of went on. I didn't go very, very deep into Peterson. It just kind of opened up a thing that, oh, people are talking about these interesting things, and so I went really, and then quite very soon I came across the sort of hinge one from Paul van der Clay about something about what does a Christian think about Peterson, and I hesitated to watch it. I wouldn't watch it for a week or two, because I was like, I don't want him to be so pro or so against, you know, and just be. I kind of went, and when I actually watched it, was like what I was hoping for. I don't know why I did that, but anyway. So yeah, I just kept. I think I watched a lot of other kind of things, which when they got very political, I tended to get more. It was interesting, but I got bored in a sense. So I suppose one of the ones I stuck with was Paul, and then picked up the courage to join the Discord, and then you've got lots of the Bridges mailing Discord, and you've got more so many more opens up. You know, the people have been drawn by that. So yes, and when the first when Estuary was first mentioned, I was like, oh yes. I almost like I've already been wanting this. So that's, I don't know, it was a couple of years ago when it first started, or because I know you jumped on it quickly, Matthias.
Yeah, I don't know, 2-3 years ago, something like that. Yeah.
So I'm near London. I'm originally from the States, but our family crosses the Atlantic, emigrates every generation, it seems. I've got great grandparents from Germany.
Okay.
So they went to Texas, and that's where my dad was born.
All right. Great, thank you. Okay, and we have another guest. Danny is showing up, so yeah, it's a dynamic estuary today, which is fine. But yeah, we will get another person in our group here in some seconds. Yeah, I think then I would continue to make a short intro for myself. So I'm Matthias. I'm 39 years old. Yeah, I'm one of the organizers of the Breakwater Festival. And yeah, what else about me? Yeah, I also got into this corner, I think, through Peterson's biblical series, and after that, yeah, I encountered Paul van der Klee, joined the Discord community as soon as it opened, and yeah, after some time, I started kind of a German subgroup, and we have the German language chat, of course, on the Discord server, and we also have a German-speaking estuary, which is organized regularly on the Discord, and also an in-person estuary here in Mannheim. And last year, Cassidy and I, we organized the first conference in Germany in Landau, the Bridges of Munich Festival, which went very well. And yeah, it was a very good experience, and was kind of also a huge support for more community, because the online thing is okay, but yeah, there can be more. And that's also why we want to do this again, and do the festival this year. So that's me, and let's see if Danny can access now to get his introduction. Hi, Danny.
Hi.
Hello.
Sorry for being late.
You just arrived perfectly for the round of introductions. So Matej already introduced himself, Stephanie as well. I introduced myself, and yeah, you know, the idea today is that we do an estuary that is focused kind of on the Breakwater Festival. So we start with a round of introductions, and then so basically the basic questions you also know. Wait, where do I have my notes? They are here. Yeah, so basically, who are you? Where are you located? How did you find this place? This corner is kind of the introduction round, and after that we go into the festival. But first of all, introduce yourself.
All right, so I'm Danny.
I don't hear you anymore, Danny. Danny, you're frozen.
Hello?
You're frozen? Okay.
Yeah.
Start again, start again. Now it works.
Okay, good.
You're frozen again.
Located at... Okay, the weird thing is I can hear you perfectly.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe I just try to close some background
Windows
programs.
Yeah.
No, I'm here with my Linux. Oh,
It's always those developers, you know, they should be most competent with technology, but they always cause the hugest problems in video conferences. That's for sure.
yeah, there's some truth. There's some truth to that. I tell you that. So is it? Am I visible? Can you guys hear me?
Yes. Start again. Yeah.
I mean, I'm here with my mobile data, I think, because we just moved and we don't have DSL internet cable yet. So I'm here with my mobile data. So I'm
Now it
Danny. I'm
works.
30 years old. I studied computer science. I come from Germany, living in the Lower Rhine area, close to the Dutch border. Yeah, what can I say? So some years ago, I was on a journey to, yeah, it wasn't a journey yet. There was just an interest, and I saw Peterson on the Joe Rogan podcast. I think this is one of the more common pipelines to get to this Discord server here. I saw Peterson on the Joe Rogan podcast. I thought, man, this is an interesting guy. The ideas he has, and he speaks so eloquently, and he's just the voice I needed at this time, telling me to get my life in order and giving me some actual tools to use in my life. So the personality lecture, the maps of meaning, a deep interest in psychology, and I thought this is great. This is actually some actionable truth. So some years later, I found Jonathan Peugeot through Jordan Peterson. They talked about the metaphysics of Pepe, and after that, I followed Jonathan Peugeot and his works and his YouTube channel. Yeah, and then we all remember Corona and the lockdowns, and these were some really strange and lonely years, I could say. And it was at the beginning of 2022, so last year, that I asked my fiance, I don't know what to do. There are so many ideas I want to talk about, but there weren't so many people in my vicinity that I could turn to. So close friends of mine, they weren't really interested in that, even though I tried to talk about these ideas with them. I couldn't blame my fiance for not getting into all these things. So she told me maybe you could find people online to talk about all these ideas, about the meaning crisis and stuff like that. And I thought, I don't know, this is crazy. Why would there be any Germans or other people online? Maybe English speaking people, this would make sense, but not German speaking people, this would be impossible. They would be online talking about ideas from a Canadian psychologist or an Orthodox icon carver from Quebec. This was in a realm of impossibility, so I didn't thought it would happen. It took 2 days, and then I saw a video between Paul Vanderklay and Jonathan Peugeot, and they mentioned the German language chat on the Bridges of Meaning server just in 1 or 2 sentences, and I thought, man, this is the sign. There is somebody out there that I could talk to. So I turned to the video description. I clicked the link and I entered the Bridges of Meaning Discord server. And Matthias was actually the first guy that welcomed me there, that asked for my history, for my personal story. And after just a quick conversation, we saw we have actually pretty many things in common in our history, in our interests, and in our path to this Discord server. So this was last year in the beginning, and since then this Bridges of Meaning server became pretty much an integral part of my intellectual life. I found some friends, some fellows on the way. I see Stephanie. We had actually last year, I think, a book club that was held by somebody that we met last year. It was really interesting. So yeah, it always has some new opportunities, some really nice people to talk to, really interesting ideas. And since last year, I'm a moderator in the German language chat, and with Matthias, I try to keep us kind of organized, connected. I take the online part in that endeavor, and yeah, that's it. That's my story.
Thank you very much, Danny. I didn't know that your fiance was responsible for all of this. Interesting part of your story.
She kind of pushed me into action and go out there, find people, and yeah, even though it sounded that, I mean, it's interesting, right? At first it sounded impossible for me, and what do I know? And 2 days later, my prayers were answered. It's weird, but yeah.
Very good, very good.
Search and you will find.
Yeah, very true. Okay, so then we can move on to the next round. And yeah, as we said, so this estuary round will be focused on the upcoming event on the Breakwater Festival. And yeah, Matej, what's why the festival? Why will you come to our festival? What are your hopes? Why did you buy a ticket?
Well, like everybody here, I think, Danny, Sophie, it seems to me that yeah, I've been in this corner listening to those people, Van der Clay, Pajot, or Veiki, recently Kastrup, and I've been thinking intensely about their ideas and how they come together. But I have been missing the part of people to talk to with. So I'm hoping that I'll find what you find, really, what you found, really, and people to relate to in this endeavor.
Very good, very good. Thank you, Stephanie. What about you? Why the festival? What are your hopes?
I don't know exactly what I'm expecting, but I just have no doubt that it's going to be good, and it's be something that I like. Being in person with a larger group is obviously has so many benefits, and I'm quite glad you called it a festival. I know it has music festival meaning and stuff like that, but to me it is joyful. I just think so. Yeah. Yeah, more so than I mean, the word conference is fine, but it's a little bit more, I think. Yeah, so I'm just really looking forward to and to meeting people in person that I've watched online, that kind of thing as well. Although it's yeah, I'm just looking forward to whoever's there. Yeah.
Great. Yeah, I mean, the festival, yeah, there were some people said, come on, it's a conference, why do you call it festival? But I also think it's a good fit. I mean, there will also be campfires in the evening, there will be some artists, there will be some music, and maybe even we can manage to that's not clear yet, but one idea is also to connect to artists of this corner of the internet and show some art, but that's that's just in the idea space. Yeah, that's. But in future, we want to include more, not only the thinky-talky parts, but different forms of expression, and that's why we call it festival. Yeah. So Danny, what about you? Why will you come? Why did you buy a ticket? What are your hopes?
So I was there 1,000 years ago when the first version of this festival started last year. So I mean, I don't know what did I expect. The first time was very great actually, and I mean, it was so weird to meet all these guys that I only have seen in 2 dimensions before. And now they have plasticity. Oh no, you have a back of your head. Really? No. It was so great. And
do you remember Teddy? Teddy walked around the campsite and said, "It's just so surreal. All these people, it's so surreal."
yeah, I remember that. And I cannot. I mean, he had such a strong presence, and he was so real. I could say. I mean, he expressed all these emotions that I was just too baffled to express, I think. Just like you said, it's so surreal. Yeah, I thought that, but I thought this is weird, right? I don't know if I could say that, but everyone was thinking that. I don't know. It's I mean, it's maybe connected to my initial journey to this server to find people that, just like Matej said, that you can relate to, that you can speak to. And I mean, it encompasses many more layers of your life. It's not always about the intellectual pursuit. It's also about relating. It's about getting to know each other, and in getting to know each other, it happens so often, even in online estuaries. You get to know each other. They tell about them, and then yeah, you could say it turns on a light, and then you see yourself better in someone else. It's so weird. I mean, it expands your horizon. I don't know. It's something, and this is where Vanderklay and Peugeot are probably on the same boat together. We can talk and we can intellectualize, and this is all very interesting, and it has its own value, sure, but to embody is a step that we have to take and go even further. To connect, you talked about artists, to take all these ideas that we have and put them into actual place. And this is what I think this festival is, what I want to experience in this festival. I see there's so many great things coming from just connecting, just talking, and even just eating together. That is just beyond words. And I got some glimpses last year, and I'm definitely sure that this year will be even better. I cannot just put it into words. You have to experience it, and this is what is actually really, really great about it.
What, Danny? What, when you think back, like the festival last year, and so what did it do for the German community, and what came out of it for you?
I don't. Let me tell you one thing. I don't know. I mean, it was just this one weekend, and I was really, really tired because I was so nervous the day before that I got only 4 hours of sleep the night before. And on this 4 hours of sleep, I went to work. I got back in the car, got my fiance, and then we drove, like, I don't know, 5 hours or something like that, or maybe it was even 6, but I think it was 5 hours to this place. And I just thought, man, how will I survive this? I don't know. I just need sleep. And I remember meeting Michael there, and he made fresh coffee every morning, and he distributed it to everybody. And if you had a mug, you could get a fresh coffee. Matthias, I don't know, but this is one of the most important things I remember, because this got me through every day. And people think, why? It's just coffee. No, it's not it's not only the coffee. The coffee is one ingredient, sure, but it was also I don't know. It was his brotherly love that got me going and thinking, okay, these are actual people that want to form a community, an online community, but a community. I got to know some other people there that at first I called cautiously fellows, because by the lack of a better word. And over time, I saw these are not only fellows, fellow is a big word, but these are also friends, actually. I turned to them in times of need, in times where I needed direction, or just guidance, somebody that could just listen to my story. Yeah, and I told you I'm a little late, and I don't have a internet cable connection. I'm here with my mobile phone because I moved, and during moving, Michael just helped me. He also carried some boxes. He put in some lamps here in my apartment. We did a road trip together with René and Tim, and
oh yeah, you did a whole estuary road trip where you came down to here to the south, right? Where we did an estuary for you guys when you came to us, and then you went like to some other people who you met in Landau at the festival last year, right?
Yeah. Our road trip had several destinations, and it wasn't something that was planned as a sketch or something. It was something that grew organically, actually, because there was this how was it called, the anchor brother in the Exodus 90 program from Michael was Dave, and yeah, you know, their close connection is actually what it started. The connection from Michael to me, from Michael to René to Tim, and yeah, so this is an ongoing journey. It produces fruit. It still produces fruit, so much fruit after all. And next month, I will be having my wedding with my fiance, and Michael and René and Tim are also coming. So it's just producing fruit after fruit after fruit. And sometimes I think maybe, I don't know, how long will it last? And then it lasts even longer. So yeah, this is something about what it still gives to me. Yeah.
Yeah, and what you said about the festival, I think is totally right. That it's I mean, like, you remember Michael making coffee, and that's also what Paul Vanderklay says. Yeah, you guys don't come for my talk, but you come to connect with others, and it's not like this the points in the schedule. It's like the human connections. I think that's just very true. Absolutely. Yeah, great. So so we have the first round about your hopes of for the festival. What are my hopes? My hopes are just, I mean, we really have, like, we as organizers, we really have something to build on, because we learned so much last year. And we are joined by David now. We have 3 people in the organizing committee. It's Cassidy, David, and me. And the event will be at a Protestant church ground in Mannheim. And David isn't part of that church, but he does many projects there. So he's kind of the host, and that's much of a relief for us organizers, because we have one person of our community as the host, and that's much easier than last year. And yeah, basically everything plays out well. And my hope is that that it just continues that way, and that it's somehow builds on last year, because last year just was so good. And yeah, also of course I hope is that maybe some more people show up. We had around 40 people last year. Yeah, it's just like the maximum would be 100 people, and if we have like, I don't know, 50 till 70 people, we would be totally fine. So these are my hopes, and let's do the next round. Matej, on what you've heard from the others, was there anything that stood out for you? Do you have any further questions for anyone here in this round about the festival, or anything else that they said?
Well, no, I don't know. There are a lot of general things I'm more interested in, like in the stories of the people. But I do find a lot of similarities in the. Well, indeed, it's like a common path with the Peterson, Arjon, Noveki, Vanderklay, it seems. So I am really excited that meeting people on a very similar journey.
Great. Stephanie, do you have any topics that stood out for you from what was said?
Well, I'm very I'm very pleased that things like road trips coming out of it, and things like that. I'm still kind of astonished that this is still happening, whatever's happening, and it's growing. That it's growing so fast, actually. So it's just like all this untapped potential is waiting somehow. So I'm pleased about it, but it's not how I would have imagined it. I knew there was something that was happening, and going, but yeah, so I'm so pleased that people are doing in-person things.
That's true what you say. That, I mean, it's growing. I think it's growing in a good way, not too fast, not too slow. I was 2 weeks ago, I was in Berlin, and I just connected some people over Bridges of Meaning, over the Verbeki server, and over some other online communities, and I was there for a work trip, and in the evening I just wrote to different Berliners from the online communities, and we managed to organize an impromptu estuary in Berlin, and 8 people showed up. And yeah, it's just so interesting that you can contact those people and can travel around and can do estuaries. And we never met before, and we talked for 4 hours. So yeah, was quite amazing. Quite amazing. Danny, from what was being said, I mean, you talked, mostly you talked, but do you have anything that stood out for you?
I mean, just an observation. It came to my mind when you said we talked for 4 hours. What is the role of the estuary protocol in our long conversation? Does it aid to do things? How does it relate to conversations that are not led by the estuary protocol, Matthias? I mean, you are hosting the in-person estuaries in Mannheim regularly, and I host the online ones in our German language chat. And I could say, I don't know what your experiences are from last year, but last year felt like, I mean, I don't want to label it exactly as that, but it was kind of a 3-day big estuary project, kind of. Not entirely, don't get me wrong, take it with a big grain of salt. But what are your experiences with this? Because we will also, I guess, do the estuary protocol in breakout groups, right? Or am I wrong?
Yes, you're right. But we won't, like, we will do it only. We will have enough time for that, but we will do it only on one day once. And we also you weren't here when I did the introduction. I put some general information at the beginning of this meeting, and we will also do a new format, which is the fishbowl method. And Thomas Steininger from the Evolve magazine, he has great experience with it, and he said like it can engage easily up to 100 people in a setting. And so it's not a small group format, it's a big group format. So I think these events, these conferences are also good to to do experiments, right? Last year we had this live concert of the 2 More V's experience. That was an experiment, and now we try out new group formats. And I think that's good, just that we do not only rely on one protocol, but I think the protocol works just very good. I mean, it depends on if it's online or in person. I think you made the experience that it's better to cap it at around 2 hours when it's online, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and that's true. And in person, I think you can go longer, but of course, it's good to have kind of an idea. Okay, how long should this last? That it's not just free flow, and it helps sometimes the conversation to not just let it loose at the end.
Yeah. I mean, you have other challenges online that you don't have in person.
Exactly.
So, for example, reading on emotional or situational cues is extremely difficult online. It's extremely difficult to wait for other people to end their sentences because of the dilation and stuff like that. People tend either to interrupt or to wait too long, and then it's not clear who goes next. So this is kind of what I meant before when I said it's so weird that that you meet people that you've seen in 2D. Now they have back of their heads, and they even have body language that you maybe haven't seen before because you only saw their face, and then you see, oh, they actually use their hand when speaking. So I do it right now, right? And there are so many non-verbal cues that you pick up on in real life, and they really aid. They really aid in communication. Yeah.
Oh yes.
So,
and two other points on the estuary protocol. When I was in Berlin, there was Valeria, who is an admin in the Awakening from the Meaning Crisis server, and she's very experienced in group formats, and she does meditation. She does a weekly. They meet in a group and they discuss every episode of After Socrates, and so she's very engaged and has a lot of experience in leading groups, and she experienced the estuary protocol for the first time, and she was just excited. She said, wow, can I use this? Is it open source? Can I just take it and try it out? So yeah, I think it's still just, it's easy and it works very, very well. I mean, of course, I mean, all these people who came somehow were prepared through this corner of the internet, through YouTube channels that you somehow all all watch, but it's just amazing how it works. Yeah. And the other thing I wanted to mention is we in our local estuary in Mannheim Ludwigshafen area, we started in the first two meetings. We started to sing some songs in the end. So after we say, okay, we are done for now, talking is over. Andreas, who's in our community, he led, he introduced some songs, some old sacred harp songs. It's an old songbook from the American South, where you have like these old church hymns, like 200-300 years old, and we sang those songs after the estuary, and that was just amazing. Was a good thing. Yeah, what I want to tell, my point there is, like, you have the estuary protocol, but you can experiment with other things and introduce other things in other practices in your local group, and that's very important. Huh?
Of course, but I mean, I'm not saying stick only to the estuary protocol, because there are also just free discussions or short conversations, getting to know each other. I remember, I mean,
Paul Vanderklay is playing chess with some randos.
This was so interesting. So there was this chessboard standing on the table, and you know, when you place something like that somewhere, it attracts people. You can see that people sit there. They sit there at the beginning. They sit there alone, and it's like it attracts opponents and like Paul Vanderklay, and then they play together, and it's so weird seeing people playing chess on a table, and there were like 15 or 20 people standing around that and just looking for the next move, discussing, making comments, making jokes. I mean, jokes are pretty important in this time. Why? Because I mean, maybe last year the lockdowns were, I mean, they were just around the corner. So maybe it was just this comparison that was really big, you know, being socially isolated on one hand, and then being connected to like-minded people, to many like-minded people, and then you have the floodgates of your ideas are opened. Maybe it was that. So yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, great. I mean, I think we could soon land this plane, but yeah, do you guys have any questions for me as an organizer of the event you will be coming to? Are there any questions you have?
I suppose it depends on what accommodation, but how far is the accommodation that you've seen for?
Yeah, okay. Yeah. That is, you know, that it's the Naturfreundehaus in German, which basically means friends of nature in English, and it's a non-profit organization of people who like to like they have this structure of hostels all over Germany, and they you can book a bed for a good price. It's basically they have these 4 and 2 bedrooms, and there you can book. I think one night costs around 21 euros. And how far is it away? It's like with the tram, it's like 15 minutes, and with a car, it's like 5 minutes. So
yeah,
it's quite close.
Michael is for our German group, and maybe Stephanie, we can stay in touch there. He's talking to the owner, because from our group, I think we are already 15 or something people. that go there, and even though it's not too close to the venue, we just said, well, maybe it's an afternoon walk outside, or we just take the tram. I mean,
and there will be
we-
people who like there will also be people with cars, and like with the
definitely,
car, it's
definitely.
also,
Maybe somebody offers a ride or something. And
Yeah.
and this is what is also really interesting. You have people, and with people you have connections, and with connections your options are opening up like really fast, and people want to be helpful.
Oh
Yeah.
yes, yeah. So it's not that far away, and there will be like you can go by tram. You could even walk, which would probably be like 20 minutes or half an hour. And
It's
yeah.
around half an hour to 40 minutes. I looked that up on Google Maps.
Okay. Yeah. And like Michael from the German community, he already booked him and his wife. I think he booked a room there. And if you're interested, just text with Danny or Michael. And but I think like there are 20 people could stay there, and I think that it will be fully booked at some point. Yeah.
And it will also be interesting, when you're on the same accommodation.
It's like last year we had the camping possibility, and that was very good for community. And this year we don't have that, but we have this hostel where 20 people can stay and have also in the evening and in the morning some more community than only on the festival ground. And how many people are already booked there, Danny?
I think he said 15.
Oh wow,
He's
cool.
And yeah, we will see. We will see. He said he told me that he's still waiting for an answer. I think they're on some days off. But yeah, we will see.
Great.
I
Matej,
would-
do you also want to stay there, or?
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah, I
actually,
think you also liked the post, and I think you're also on the list of Michael.
on the what?
Like Michael, he organizes those sleeping places, and I think he has you on the list because you liked the post in the festival server, right?
Yeah, this is where it originated, right?
Yeah.
He made a small poll, and then he asked everybody.
I don't know if I.
Okay. Then, yeah.
And yeah, I mean,
I will send you the contact of Michael who organizes it, and then you can catch up with him.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, great. I mean, any other questions about festival or accommodation? If
how
not,
do you guys, Matej and Stephanie, maybe Matej, you can go first. How do you guys get actually to Mannheim?
Actually, I have to also see that because I'll probably be in Amsterdam. So maybe I can see if anybody also is coming from Amsterdam by car, or if not, I can just probably get the train. But
have you seen the channel in the
Yeah.
Breakwater server, the joint travel and accommodation?
Yeah, I was just thinking that I should.
Yeah. You could just write a message that you want to go from Amsterdam, because there will be quite some Dutchies coming, and maybe someone could give you a ride.
Yeah, and even if they cannot do it, I mean, I live close to the Dutch border and close to Nijmegen, and yeah, I don't know. Maybe you can go eastward with a train, and then maybe I cannot tell you yet because I already pick up some other guys, but maybe there's a spot left if the Dutchies cannot take you with them.
Oh well, thank you.
So
And that's also by the way, there's for cheap train travel in Germany. I mean, there's the Deutschland ticket. the advantage is that it costs like 50 euros, and you can go there through whole of Germany for a whole month. The disadvantage is that you can only you can't use speed trains with it, so you have to use the slowest version of our trains, but you can get through the whole country with that ticket.
But I think the travel channel will be the most important channel for everybody.
I think so too. I think so too. Yeah.
So Stephanie, how do you get there?
Yeah, I'm thinking of coming on the train. So changing at Brussels and Köln or Frankfurt.
Ah, all right. Yeah.
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 From
I don't want
Frankfurt
to
you
change
get to
to
Mannheim.
Paris because you've got to cross the city.
Yeah.
So I mean, it doesn't go through Paris. Did you say that?
Well,
or
no,
it
some
goes
of the
through.
faster ones do go through Paris, it seems, but you have to cross the city, you know, between different stations. And don't want to do that.
No, I wouldn't advise that in the current situation. No. Have a safe travel. Yeah.
Oh,
Do
no,
you
I
already
wasn't
know?
even thinking of that. I was just thinking practicalities of.
Okay.
in the
You
train.
mean that? But yeah. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So do you
Yeah.
already know how long it takes from England to Frankfurt or Mannheim?
I think I'm thinking 6 hours. I'm thinking something like
That's
that.
actually fast. I didn't expect that.
Yeah, with like a 40-minute change and a 20-minute change. So something like that, I think. You know. But yeah, if it works out, yeah, hopefully I can get to persuade some Brits to come and or people can join us on the way or something. Yeah.
Maybe.
Obviously, it's not the cheapest way, but I love the train.
If it is on time, it's actually pretty pleasant, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great.
All right.
Yeah. So I will also put all the links, including to the ticket sales and to the Discord server where people who are interested can discuss travel and accommodation and every other things about the festival. I will put the links here in the description. And yeah, thanks for listening. Thanks to you guys for participating in this. And yeah, I'm very much looking forward to meeting you in Mannheim.
That's lovely to meet you. Nice to see you again, Danny.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
nice to see you. Thanks. Thank you.
All right, I will end this recording.
You will see. Yep.
I'm looking forward